What is up, guys? I hope that you are well. This is my first attempt at vlogging, and I have a big announcement to make. You are catching me here at the airport because I am headed down to Lima, Peru. I have got the call and the opportunity to play for Team USA in the World Pickleball Championships. I'll be playing for the 50 and under, and there's also a senior team, so there's 16 of us coming down, and I'm now at Dulles Airport. Beautiful morning, and we are going to be headed out here shortly down to Atlanta, and then our final destination, Peru.
What's up, guys? Annalie Waters here, Lee Waters here. We're just wanting to do a quick video to tell you guys good luck at the Pickleball World Cup. Go Team USA! Good luck, guys! Go get them! Remember to be aggressive.
Welcome back to another episode of the Pickle Pulse. I am your host, Brian Green, and as always, my co-host, Mr. Ryan Lopez, is in the house. What's up, dude?
It's getting cold here.
It is getting cold.
Getting sick of it.
Yeah, well, it's
My
still
allergies are flaring up.
It's 70 degrees outside. It's not that cold yet.
I'm from South Florida.
Yeah, I know. just wait. Winter is coming.
No. Last winter, it's like I don't mind the cold, but I like playing pickleball.
Yeah.
Like, so when I can't play outside anymore, it's just like, it bothers me.
Well, you're a pro at a indoor club. I think you have that handled, so that's okay. The other cool thing is that the ball is going to start going really fast.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about wintertime is the ball gets really hard and it goes. Unlike Florida pickleball, where you're hitting marshmallows at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So putaways are much easier.
You can literally press into the ball in Florida.
Oh my God, it's so bad. Like U.S. Open conditions with a Franklin, you're playing with a marshmallow ball. You may as well be. Unbelievable. So today we're going to do a couple of things, or attempt to do a couple of things. I want to break down my official World Cup experience. Some of you may know, some of you may not have seen, but I got the opportunity to go to Lima, Peru, to play against 32 other countries from around the world in what they call the Pickleball World Cup. And it was founded, I believe, 3 years ago by Hercilio Cabieses, who was a pro out of South Florida. Actually met him many, many years ago. Small world in the pickle community. And my first ever tournament, I'm playing 3-0 singles, and Hercilio was playing 4-5 singles at that same tournament. And I remember talking to him because he looked like a beastly man. You know what a high-level tennis player looks like?
Yes.
Like giant thighs, big butt. Yeah. And like he looks like Jack Sock.
Okay.
All right. And I was looking at this guy going, dude, you are an athlete. Like, how long have you been playing pickleball? And I think it was only a couple of months at that point. Anyway, long story short, the Pickleball World Cup last year had maybe 10 or 12 teams. It was a little smaller. Okay. And then this year it's grown up, and it was hype. He did a great job with putting together everything. How I got on the team was very cool. So my good friend, Mr. Steve Rose, go to the clip. Here he is. Wait for it. Here he is. The Godfather himself. USA! There he is. What's up? How are you, man? Brian Green.
What's up, bro?
My brother.
Let's go.
Dude. Steve Rose and I have worked together at Tom James for, 24 years for me. Steve is coming up on 40 years with the company, or just had his 40th year. So he's an older guy. He's a senior pro out of South Florida, and he was asked to put together a team of 8 50-plus players and 8 under 50 players to go and compete in the World Cup. He took that up, and that's how this scrub got on the team. I know what you guys are all thinking. He's not a pro.
I was just about to ask. I was like, what was the tryout? Like, was there tryouts for this? And you just
if there was a tryout, I wouldn't have made it. No,
I was like,
essentially,
they hand selected Brian Green
Yeah.
out of Clifton, Virginia.
hey, it's all about who you know, boss.
Right.
That is life. That is a good life lesson. Write that down, children. All about who you know. So Steve called me with this opportunity, and I think he thought of me, one, because my play is getting better. I'm trying to get to 5.0, and I could hang.
Yeah.
But secondly, he and I go on surf trips a couple times a year every year.
Okay.
And he knew that Lima, Peru has amazing waves. And so he called me and he's like, hey, you want to go to this thing down in Lima, Peru? And I was like, yeah, this is a trip of a lifetime, an opportunity.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm not going to say no to it. And he was like, cool, we're going in 4 days early because we're going to surf for the first 4 days.
Yeah.
And then we'll play the World Cup. So I was down there for like 9 days. It was a long trip, but it was so epic. So basically at this point, I'm hopping on a plane, and then you'll see the clip that I'm going to pop out. And from there, 14 hours later, I'm in Lima, Peru.
Okay.
All right. We surfed, and I know this is a pickleball channel, so I will go very brief on the surfing, but I've got a couple of cool videos and I've got some cool shots. And the waves down there were unreal. The only downfall, it's cold.
Oh.
It was wetsuit and booties weather, which if you're a surfer and you know anything about it, that just adds a little bit of weight to you and takes away some of your mobility. Not a ton. The new wetsuits are pretty good.
Yeah.
But for a guy that surfs like 5 to 7, maybe 10 times a year, it wore me out real fast. I was not in surf shape, and the waves down there were huge. So like the smallest day that we had was like 4 to 6 foot. It got to 6 to 8 the next, and then day 3 was massive, where I did paddle out.
Yeah.
After our surf guide balked at me like a chicken for about 45 minutes to an hour, because I'm standing on shore and it's 10 to 12 feet.
Yeah.
And the paddle out to get to the wave is probably 400 or 500 yards of paddling on a surfboard.
Was this your own surfboard, or did you like rent one?
No. So we hired a surf guide and then told him the specifications of the boards that we wanted to ride. Yeah. And, you know, he's got a whole rack of boards that he chooses from. I didn't get exactly what I wanted, but I got enough volume to get into the waves. It was a little bigger. Couldn't turn on it very well. But Rosie likes a stand-up paddleboard. And so this guy had the stand-up paddleboard that he wanted. So it was like, all right, I'm just going to take whatever you got.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. As long as it's a surfboard, I'll get up on it. I'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. So we didn't have to bring boards, which was awesome. And he picked us up every morning at like 5:15, 5:30. So we were on the waves as the sun was coming up.
Yeah.
And we drove all over Lima, and I'll throw some clips in right now so you can see kind of the sights. Rode some amazing waves. My best wave of the whole trip, I rode for, what was it? Like almost 900 feet. And my max speed, because I have a little Garmin watch that tells me my max speed was 26.8 miles per hour on the wave.
Wow. Mr. Kelly Slater over here, huh?
Yeah, I don't know about that. If you saw a video of it, you'd be like Kooky Slater. Right. But I got up and I hauled ass, and that was like 3 football fields. So that's a legit wave.
Yeah.
That was a long one. So that was kind of it. The highlight of our trip. The other cool thing is Steve caught a wave on one of the days where he literally surfed with dolphins in the wave.
Yeah.
And I'll throw the clip up in there now. but essentially he's riding the wave and the dolphins are jumping next to him in the wave.
Oh, okay, wow.
It was unreal. I'll show it to you. It's so good.
This was the highlight of the trip, people, not the pickleball.
No, the pickleball was even better than the surfing, believe it or not. And that is tough. So we get into the World Cup. Two things about Lima. The food down there is freaking amazing. Like everything is good. Unless you're eating with Eric Gagnon, one of the senior pros, and then he just wants to go to Pizza Hut and Subway the whole time.
Sabaro's pizza.
Yes. Come on, Eric, step your game up, man. And so food was really good. Lima is cheap, dude.
Yeah.
If you can afford the flight to get down there, that was the most expensive part of the whole thing.
How much was the flight?
I'd say the flight was probably like $850 or so to sit with the poppers in the back.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't fly first class. I'm not there.
Yeah.
Some of the people on this trip were there. Not going to name any names, but there are some boss hogs in the pickleball world who live very awesome lifestyles. So yeah, food was amazing, super cheap. Highly recommend Lima. I felt like it was very safe everywhere we went, and we just Ubered and taxied all around.
Yeah.
A taxi from our hotel to the other side of the city, which is like a 35-40 minute drive. Guess how much that will cost you?
It was like $5.
Yeah, $6.
Oh, wow.
It was unreal. It was unreal. And so, yeah, like renting a car makes no sense down there. Don't do that. So we get into the World Cup. We have opening ceremonies, which I've got some videos from. I'll pop in here. The opening ceremonies were amazing in that it was just meeting people from all over the world who are completely jacked about pickleball.
Yeah.
Right. And it's people of all levels. There were a lot of high level players, but I mean, really it was people of all levels because the first 2 days they did an open tournament. So you could sign up and you could compete in 3-5 men's or 3-5 girls or whatever it would be mixed. All the way up to the 5-0 division, which is what I competed in. So got the opportunity to play with some studs, but some youngin' studs.
Oh, really?
So I played men's with a guy named Ashton Campbell Patterson. All right. Remember that name because a couple of years from now, we're going to be talking about him.
Yeah.
This kid is, I believe he's 16 or 17.
Okay.
Lights out. And we went 2-2 in our bracket, didn't make it out of the 5-0 to go farther. But that was mostly because Brian didn't have a fucking clue what I had on my left-hand side.
Right.
And that I tried to play way too much court. I mean, this kid was explosive. He was fast. He barely missed. He had a great TUI. And if I would have just played 20% of the court, I think we would have made it out. I don't think we would have pushed all the way into, the medals at that level because, dude, there were some legit pros playing there. I mean, New Zealand brought 3 people from MLP Australia. So, I mean, I show up and these guys are modding. So, of course, they have mods. Yeah. And they're huge and they hit it hard. And, oh, my God, yeah. Very impressive squad. Although, spoiler alert, we beat them. Ha, ha, ha.
I was gonna say I didn't see them.
Our kids
on the medal stand, right?
No, they didn't. And we'll get to that. And then there was a team from Puerto Rico called the Mod Squad. 2 guys, 2 mods. They lit everyone up, and I believe they won 5-0 men's.
Okay.
Very impressive squad, and very impressive play. I was overwhelmed because I didn't think the level of play was going to be that good or that consistent across many teams, but there really weren't many scrub teams. Okay. Everybody showed up to play.
I was about to ask too. I was like, was there any countries where you were just like I don't know? I
mean, there were a couple of them. I'm not going to name any names because I made friends with a lot of these, and if they see it, I don't want to hurt any feelings. But at the same time, I will say that at least in the World Cup aspect of it, there were probably a couple of teams that were maybe like a 4-0 team, a little higher than that, but not many. Most were solid 5-0 teams.
Okay. Like, well, I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah. They're like, we're showing up. We know we're not going to win, but this isn't a great experience kind of thing. But that was maybe like 20% of the teams.
Okay.
So every bracket or group had some easy buys. Or easy outs is probably a way to go, not a buy. So the first 2 days, it was men's doubles, and then it was mixed doubles. I played 5-0. I played with Ashton in men's. And then I got to play with Stevie Petropoulos or Petropoulos. I don't, Stevie, you told me how to say your name. It's so hard.
Is he a local guy?
No, this is a she. And,
I'm so sorry.
And Stevie is 13.
Okay.
And she is a beast.
Okay.
And she ended up winning the day before we started. I didn't play singles, but she won women's 5-0 singles. Yeah. Let's go. Again, she beat every boss lady in the spot.
Yeah.
And I was so psyched to play with her because she hits the ball hard. She makes good decisions most of the time. She's got all the skills. She just needs to keep playing.
Yeah.
You know, she's been in the game for a couple of years, but she's young. She played so lights out and overcame.
How old was she again?
13, bro.
Yeah, she has time.
She was 13. Yeah. And so that's another name that I think we're going to look out for over the time. I was just so happy to get to play with her. Yeah. And, you know, I would say that I didn't play my best in the first 2 matches that we played, but the next 2 we played really well together and beat a couple of good teams. So again, didn't go very far in the actual tournament. Brian, let's just say I could do better, be better, do better. But then the World Cup came, and that was so hype. So the way that the format of the whole thing worked out is you have 8 people on the squad. You only have to play 4, right? So the top dogs are going against the top teams. So our day 1 was Saturday. There was a cool opening ceremony. I'm going to cut to the clip right here. There was dancing, there was yelling, they announced each team. Very, very cool kind of thing. And this was like 7 o'clock in the morning. And then around 8:30 or 9, the tournament got started. Our first couple of matches, we had China right away.
Yeah.
Which we were like, oh, dude, China's going to bring the heat. And they brought some really good players. And then we had the Bahamas and we had Aruba. All right. And day one, we had to play China first. They were the hardest team of all of them. We took care of business.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Went 4-0 in that match, won it, and then proceeded to go 12-0 on day one, feeling really good about our squad. And the old man did get in on 2 games of those matches. So essentially...
So is it like MLP format?
It's MLP format. Okay. So you're going to do a men's, you're going to do a mix, or 2 mixed, and you're going to do a women's. So out of those 4 matches, and then a dream breaker if you need it, which is kind of cool. So yeah, we didn't have to go to any dream breakers. As a matter of fact, we didn't do a dream breaker the whole time.
You know, I low key like the few MLP tournaments that I have done. I like low key like want to go into dream breakers just because I like being in those situations and just the atmosphere is like so fun.
It's
in
so
MLP
fun.
Format.
I've played only once where I got to go into a dream breaker in an MLP tournament.
I can only imagine the atmosphere that you were into.
Oh, dude.
Like, it would have been electric.
And the coolest thing is I was playing against this guy named John Smet, who locally, very, very good doubles player. He doesn't play singles at all. And I got him that day. Really? And normally he's a guy that beats up on me pretty good. His hands are so good. So it felt good to be the hero and actually win for the team that day. So I'm sort of with you. I like the dream breaker aspect.
We might not have the pickleball in the Olympics, but we got the Pickleball World Cup in Peru.
Right. That is correct.
Did it have like an Olympic feel to it? Like, did it feel like you were in the Olympics
big
or something?
Big time. And you'll see, I know I haven't showed you any clips or anything, but you'll see when you watch back, I'll put in the clips where we had the flag ceremonies and we came in and all marched and we had like our Olympic USA outfits on. It looked pretty cool. So the whole vibe of the thing was
playing
fun.
pickleball, people.
Yeah, we're playing pickleball, but it's super fun.
I love it.
Yep. So that was that. Day one, we took care of business. Day two, I can't remember the name of the first squad that we beat. I do remember that I think they're out of the Caribbean somewhere or Central America, one of those countries. But we got into day two knowing that if we lose, we're out. Yeah. Today's the day. We got to freaking take care of business. And so we played the Caribbean country. Forgive me for forgetting who it was. But in a tight match, beat them. And then our second match of the day around 10 a.m., 11 a.m. was New Zealand, the powerhouse. And dude, the crazy thing, you know, Aussies, right?
Yeah.
What do they do at every event that they're at? And they have a cheering squad.
They have like those air horns or something? Or
they scream and yell nonstop.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they're just the most hype people.
Yeah.
The New Zealanders.
I was at the Australian Open 2020 right before COVID. And like that stadium is like Rod Laver Arena is like insane. It is like jumping.
Oh yeah.
The amount of people with like those air horns, I think it was Zuzuvelas or something.
Oh, those things are terrible.
It is so loud in there. So can I just watch tennis? What's going on?
So like everywhere they were was a huge crowd and it was screaming and yelling. Everywhere that the Peruvian squad was, they had stands filled up with people.
Yeah.
To watch them there. And like big horns going off and crazy stuff. The Peruvians, since it was their home, they brought it when it came to being loud. And then the Puerto Ricans, I'd say, were the other ones who just brought the energy. So we decided that day, and really the day before, we brought the energy too, but we were going to bring the energy. We were going to be as loud as them. Yeah. We were going to be as in your face. We were going to scream for every point like they did, because you got to get in their heads a little bit. These guys are good. And so we ended up coming out just gangbusters. And who was it? I believe Ashton played with Austin. Austin's a local pro out of Texas, and I should probably introduce our squad, and I'll do that after I kind of tell the story. But Ashton played with Austin. They won. They beat these guys in a squeaker. And that was amazing. And then Kaylin Campbell was another girl that was on our team, and she played with Ashton. He was our top dog. Whoa.
Careful there, Brian.
Let's do that again. All right. No, so Ashton was our top dog. I mean, he was so good. And like I said, I didn't know what I had when I played with him, but this is a kid we're going to watch out for. So we ended up going 3-1. I think we lost one of the mixed, and we got through New Zealand, and then hit the Puerto Rican wall. The Puerto Rico was beastly. Yeah. Beastly. They were so good. They're I don't know where they recruited from. I don't think that everyone on that team lives in Puerto Rico. And I know that the Peruvian team
your grandmother's Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Well, I heard that if you had a passport there in the country, you can go. Because like Peru had the guy that I had to play in the Open was like a 5'5" pro out of Connecticut. Yeah. And his partner, Tatiana, I remember her name because she had such a unique name. She was out of Texas, I believe, and like a 5'5" pro. So
what is this?
And that's a Peruvian team, right? So there was a lot of that going on. I sort of figured that. Yeah. Look, if you want to play in the World Cup and you have a passport in another country, that is your in. And I highly recommend you reach out to whoever is putting it together. Matter of fact, just send Hercilio an email and he'll connect you with the team captains. Yeah. But I have a feeling next year this tournament is going to be huge. They'll get 50 plus countries. Yeah.
It's like you see those posts on like social media. It's like, oh, the U.S. like math team wins this like huge national competition. Then you look at everyone on the U.S. math team. They're all like Chinese or something. Like, they're all Asian. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hey, it's a melting pot, Ryan. It's a melting pot.
I get it. I'm just saying. It's like, wait, hold on. You're from Texas. What is this?
You're going to get us canceled with all the math and Asian stuff.
I'm Asian.
I know that. Okay, I guess you're allowed to then, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I love it.
But yeah.
I can't even move on. Ryan's just going to get us canceled. That's great. Good job, Ryan.
Sorry. It's the first thing that popped up into my head. You brought it up too. It's like, these guys aren't even Puerto Rican.
No, they definitely were not. They did not live there. But they were really good. Yeah. And we played them tough, but they beat us 3-1. Yeah. And so then we had to, the biggest downfall of the whole thing for us, I think, was they made us wait until the whole tournament was over, essentially, to play our bronze medal match against Taiwan. And our crew was so young. I mean, our starting squad, the best players on the team, 2 16-year-old, actually 3 16-year-olds, maybe 1 17-year-old out of there. I can't remember how old Ashton was. And then Georgia and Austin, I won't say how old they were, but we're a young squad. And the focus was completely lost. Yeah. By the time we got around to playing again, everyone had eaten. Everyone was like, it just wasn't tight. And Taiwan beat us. And I think we could have easily taken them down. Yeah. Yeah. But they were good. They had some great players. One of their players was a pro out of California. I mean, so again, it's just like, that's kind of what I figured out
here, man.
Is, well, you know, people want to win. They're going to recruit the best picklers. Yeah. And a lot of the countries haven't quite made it yet. But I made some friends in Costa Rica and Aruba, Panama. I already knew a couple of people from my previous trips. From China, the Jim from Taiwan. He was such a good dude. And so, you know, it was really a trip of a lifetime. And if I got the opportunity, I would certainly do it again.
It sounds fun.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to play in it. Not that you would select me.
Yeah.
But
why?
I just want to share for you. I'm the guy you want on the sidelines.
No.
You want me on the sidelines cheering and bantering.
Ryan, we got to get your self-talk together because like you're working at a club, you're teaching. In 1 year, you're not going to want to play with me anymore. That's the way you're going to elevate yourself beyond 5'5".
This is how my college recruiting experience was. They didn't want me on the court, but they were like, you know, he's a good locker room guy. We need him on the road games.
Everybody throw your underwear at Ryan.
I'm just a team manager.
Just carrying dirty underwear around. Right. Hey, but you do it with a smile on your face.
Exactly. It's like, man, this guy has so much energy. He's amazing.
So good. So good.
I was going to say, so I was looking at the World Cup as well, but like, I think it was Puerto Rico finished first, right?
Yep, that's right.
Peru finished second.
That's right. That was a barn burner. Also, they have an official World Cup YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and watch some of the matches on there, the coverage of the whole thing was excellent. Yeah. I mean, it was really like first class, done like Tennis Channel would do it.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, are you surprised by those results? Were there any countries where you were thinking like they might have a shot at it?
Well, I knew that Peru won it last year.
Okay.
So I knew they were going to bring a team. I thought China was going to be better.
That's what I was thinking too.
Then, I mean, just based on their love of racket sports.
Like pickleball, I think once it starts to become a bit more, I guess, like international and really start to grow from like an international scale, we start playing like, countries and countries together. I feel like those Asian countries, are going to start, picking up on it like really quickly.
Oh, and another team that I didn't talk about because we didn't have to face them and they didn't make it as far, but were beastly. The Indian pickleball team.
Dude.
They were so good. There was a guy, I didn't catch his name. I didn't get to meet him, but I watched him play 3 or 4 times, and this guy was so good. I mean, like easy 5-5 player.
Yeah.
And probably one of the best pickleball players in India. I mean, I know there's some good players out of there, but so the Indian team was really good. New Zealand was really good. A lot of the Caribbean countries. Oh, Costa Rica was really good. Yeah. I was actually surprised they didn't make it farther because they've got a senior pro down there in Costa Rica that are training these guys up.
And overall, like when I saw the results, I guess I wasn't like too shocked about it. Like what would have shocked me if I saw like a European country finish in that top 3.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like that to me would have been like a little.
Well, the Slovakian team was quite good.
Yeah,
and the girls were very pretty, very pretty. Slovakian girls, blonde hair, blue eyes, man. Wow.
I saw their like intro video like on Instagram. I was like, it's a good looking team.
Absolutely.
But the way I think of it too, I mean, like these European countries, I mean, like they're so dominant in tennis. I can't imagine they're just pumping out all this money for like pickleball courts.
Not yet. And also Padel is so huge in Europe. And so and actually in the Caribbean as well. That's one of the things that's holding pickleball back is that Padel is huge.
Like I think Italy was in the World Cup as well.
They did.
But I was just like, the number 1 player in the world in tennis is Italian. You think these guys care about pickleball?
Yeah.
Like they're like, there's no way they're like resurfacing tennis courts. The number 1 player in the world is Italian. They're going to pump out as many like Italian athletes, into tennis as possible.
Well, and racing. They're into motorcycle racing, car racing, tennis.
But that's the thing. It's like if Italy finished first, I'd be like, no.
And they weren't. And the funny thing is, I knew the Italian team because Luke is he actually lives in Costa Rica. Okay. Luke does, and he's Italian heritage, and he played for the Italian team, so they can be down there. And his dad, they had no shot. Luke is really good. Don't get me wrong, but they had no shot. He was the best player on the team.
He's just there to have fun. We get it.
Yeah. But no, it was super cool. Trip of a lifetime, amazing experience. Shout out to my team. All right, I wrote everyone's name down because I am the king of butchering last names. But our team was Stevie Petropoulos. I just start saying it.
You should be ashamed of yourself as a teammate.
And I played with her.
It could be me. I'm just
Stevie, go in the comments and yell at me and tell me how terrible I am. Or maybe enunciate it so that people will know how to say your last name, because we're going to need to know at some point. Love playing with you. So stoked, Stevie. That was awesome. Ashton Campbell-Patterson, up-and-coming star. We had Jared Thurston. I didn't talk very much about Jared yet. This is a boss businessman out of, I believe he's in New Jersey. And he's training currently to go pro. Great player. Played lights out and got a bunch of wins for us. And just an overall nice guy. Like when you think of boss business person, you think of someone who knows, I hate to say customer service, but he knows how to deal with people. Right. And also speaks really, really well. Just a very, it was great to meet him. And maybe one day he'll come down here and slum in a tournament or two with me. That's it. I was like, man, if you want to come play in some 5-0 stuff, I'd love to play with you. So it's out there again, Jared. Hit me up.
Sounds like community service.
Yeah, sort of. Just pick me up on your back and carry me, big dog. Come on. Then we had the one and only Miss Georgia Johns on the squad. And I don't know if you've met Georgia. She plays out of Maryland. Around here.
She's come to TPC a couple times.
She's just she's sweetheart.
Chandra's 4-5-5-0 group.
Yep, exactly right. And Georgia played lights out. Super cool to get to know her. Have lots of laughs. Hannah Johns was down there, so that was super sweet. And
She,
so
like, working the event, or like
yeah,
doing
she
coverage?
was like just doing some promo work and then talking on the mic, doing the normal stuff she does. So got to meet her. That was really, really cool. Matter of fact, I got a little interview with her that I'll probably throw in.
All right, so I am here with the famous Hannah Johns of the PPA Tour, and we're watching our Team USA match. What do you think so far?
Well, right now we're 3-0, which is really helpful. All of the games have been really close, and so there's a lot of talent. We got a lot of young talent, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
You can see that some of them are a little nervous, but they're finding their feet out there. It's so hard to play for your team and your country, and compete. And I think those three things together are incredibly stressful, but they're really holding their own and they're doing a great job.
They're holding it together really, really well. They're doing quite well. Thank you so much. Appreciate the time. That's good stuff.
I was like, hey, Hannah, I'll interview you since you're always interviewing everybody else. Let's do that.
No.
And no, she was
No,
like,
kidding.
sweet, let's do it. She's just a sweetheart. So then myself, the old man of the squad, I was by far the oldest person on the team.
Dad of the group.
That's basically what I was. I
Pack
was
everyone's lunches too. Is that what it is?
Just make sure nobody gets upset. Everybody's got their drink boxes. It was good. Caitlin Campbell. Wow. This girl is another one that's going to go pro. Cool story about her is that her brother is Kaysen Campbell.
I was just about to say, I was like, there's something like Kaysen Campbell, like on the toys. Is he the one with like the messed up hat?
Nailed it.
Okay.
He was down there all week, got to know him. What an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Like, so fun. When you see them on the streams, the PPA guys, you don't realize how young they are until you meet him. And I'm like, oh my God, this dude's a kid.
Yeah.
And he is beast mode. I mean, his singles game, as you've seen, he's made some heavy runs in the PPA.
Yeah, exactly.
He's very, very good. And he was down there. Rob Cassidy was there, Ryan Sherry and Jay DeVilliers. So they were all playing some games and drilling together. And I got to meet all those guys. Actually had to have dinner with Jay DeVilliers. That was excellent. Thanks to Eric Gagnon, one of the senior guys. He's DeVilliers has been coaching him for years, so they're real tight. And we went. That was our Pizza Hut dinner. It was real sexy.
Imagine going on vacation and going to damn Pizza Hut.
It was actually pretty good. Pizza Hut is a fine dining establishment in Lima, just so you know. It's not like here in the States.
Yeah, we could just end the podcast right now. You're making me sick.
All right. So Kaylin, up and coming pro, amazing player. Her and Ashton actually finished third in 5-0 mix.
All right.
So they played really, really well together and beat some really solid teams. That was hype. And then Charlotte Wasson. What can I say about Charlotte other than she is super spunky, super fun, absolute sweetheart. Her parents were amazing. Matter of fact, Stevie's parents I really enjoyed hanging out with. And so, like, all the kids' parents were super cool and they were there hanging out. Also, probably an up-and-coming PPA, or we'll see. Yeah. Her brother is also playing tour stops. I think his name is Luke Wasson. That name
sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a little familiar, but he hasn't done quite as much as Kaysen, to my knowledge. And then the last guy was Austin O'Reilly. Austin, guy out of Texas, up-and-coming pro, like super fun. And Austin was like I'm the old man of the group. Austin was like our out there kind of guy. And that I don't want to say like he's walking around with incense like a hippie kind of out there, but he sort of did his own thing the whole time. Yeah. And he showed up to play, but when he was there, he was lights out and he was dialed. Like you can tell he really takes pickle seriously. Yeah. And he played great. So that was the squad under 50. It was super fun. Steve Rose, when you see this, thank you for the opportunity. You're a legend and a hero, my friend. Any other questions for me before we kind of pull things together?
I was going to say, I guess, did you discover any new shots that some of these countries were hitting?
That's a good, so it's a good question. The format of the event I didn't talk about, which caused, the answer is no, because we were playing rally scoring to 15 games in order to get all the games in.
Yeah. Oh, so, rally scoring to 15.
The games like happened. Most games
not
were
even
like
21 or like 25.
8 to 10 minutes for a regular game. Yeah. If it was a heavy contested game, it might have gone 15 minutes. Yeah. So it was, the name of the game down there was make balls, right? Get your thirds down. Make them try to dink. because everyone's trying to speed up as fast as possible, as per usual. It's the game of pickleball now.
Right.
And if you hit a bunch of balls out or you make stupid mistakes, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that was Stevie and I when we played the Peruvian team, the 2.55s that from the U.S., not Peruvian. I think I hit 4 returns out because the guy's serve was just ripping in. Yeah. And I mean, it's hard to come back when you're down 7-2 and you've been playing for 90 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, Jesus Christ.
So every point is just like crucial at that, you know?
Every point was crucial.
I don't even know if I'd be going like 50% serves at that point. Like, I don't know.
I was ripping my serves,
knocking them in.
But I guess in retrospect, I probably would have been done better if I did that. Yeah. My serve is always such a weapon for me. But yeah, you got to make balls because things can happen real fast and you can be in a heavy hole that you can't get out of.
Like 15-point rally scoring.
It's fast.
You can be on and off the court in like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's brutal stuff.
It was. And when that happens, if that happens, you're walking off going, what's wrong with me? How did I lose that bad? Like, I know I'm better than this. Come on.
Yeah.
Fortunately, didn't have any like meltdown moments the whole time. I'm sure some people did, and I definitely saw some crying. But you know, it is what it is. Yeah. So that was my pickleball story.
Now, the last thing I wanted to ask too, I guess, what was the lodging experience? Did they provide lodging for you or what?
Oh, no. This was like, I paid for everything on my own. So we had to find it. I mean, this was basically just a really cool pickleball tournament in another country.
Yeah. I was curious. I was like, was it like Olympic Village or something? Were you guys sleeping on like cardboard boxes?
Oh my God. So Georgia she actually stayed at the venue with Hannah.
Gotcha.
And Rob Cassidy and like a bunch of the pros were staying on the venue and there was like dorms set up there. So the place that we played was like completely enclosed sports facility. They had bowling, they had jiu-jitsu, they had wrestling, they had Olympic weightlifting, they had softball fields and the softball team.
What kind of court surface was it? Like an actual like pickleball hard court?
Yeah, so it was the pickle rolls on concrete.
Oh, okay.
So Hercilio bought all the pickle rolls and actually it was pretty good. There was a couple of like shit bounces here and there, but
you were
for
using
the most part,
X40s and everything.
What ball were we using? I think we were using X40s.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the facility was unreal in that it seemed like it was the Olympic training village for all sports of Peru. You know, does that make sense? So there was a little bit of everything there. Yeah. And there was people all around. The food was good there. The courts are probably the least cool part of it, but at the same time,
gray, right?
No, they were pretty. It was like gray and it had red kitchen. I mean, the overall look of the scene was really nice. Some bad bounces from time to time, but you get that with a pickle roll.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh, and then the sand on the mats were coming off towards the end to the point where like they had to come in and sweep all the courts because there was so much sand, people were sliding across them.
Oh yeah.
So it was starting to get really slick. So next year when you show up, if Hercilio's using those again, I'm pretty sure he is, expect some slick mats when you get there.
That's where I come in.
Yes.
Get the courts ready for you guys.
Well, I appreciate you guys listening to my story. We're at 39 minutes, which I knew was going to take this long.
We're so bad at this.
Dude.
We just talk too much.
Well, this is 39 minutes before I put any clips in too. So we'll see where it all goes. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was an epic trip. Ryan, thanks for talking it out with me, my dude. And until next time, we'll see you on the courts. Peace.